Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Zombicide Etsy crossover. Zombicide Etsy crossover. This was another 3D printed with our friend from ArtsGamingOutpost. Definitely link in the description to his page. So this was a set that I actually asked to see if he'd be able to do. And he came through with flying colors. So I'm awesome that he made this. And then it worked out so cool. He made actually add some extra stuff that I didn't even think about. But I did a previous video where I had jail cells, or I had barred doors for the Marvel set. The Marvel Zombicide, and I thought they looked really cool. I thought they'd work well for Prison Outbreak. I'm gonna grab one here. I should have had this prepped, but I didn't. So, yeah, we originally had subway doors that look like these, and these are these awesome doors that pull apart. And I thought, hey, I asked if he'd be able to make. They only came with two, one for each of the subways sides, the entry into the subway. And I said, hey, it'd be cool if he could make me a bunch of extra ones of these for Prison Outbreak. And he got back to me. He's like, hey, in fact, instead of just doing it like that, like I had by the brick mold, make more sense to have them like metal doors because they're inside a building. I'm like, that's cool. And then he actually found a way to make them swivel. We'll look at those in just a sec. And then on top of that, he added a bunch of other things that are going to work well for Prison Break. So you can kind of, I still have it set up. So what we have here is we have, I'm going to just push this forward. I'm going to zoom down for a sec so we can kind of look at this a little bit better. We have security doors in purple and in white. And what's really awesome is instead of breaking apart, now they actually swivel open. And you don't have to snap these together. They come like this. I even love, the fact that they have the multicolors in there as well. And then we also have white ones. So yeah, in the normal game, those are only they're represented by these little tokens. And basically the idea is one side shows like a lined door, and then one side so it doesn't. So it's really hard to tell on the board whether they're open or closed. But here, boom, I use the thing, I open all the white doors, I can easily tell they're open. And I like the fact that he changed them to be closed, open and closed, versus just breaking them apart. Because, Crater brought up a great point about this, was because the game has the ability to close and open them, instead of like most doors that just break shut. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of each color, 8 of each color. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 of each color. So that's enough to, like, right now I have these two tiles here. That's enough to cover both of these tiles. Now there is a third tile that also I think has 4 rooms as well. So you end up having, if you put a door in every single one, you'd end up having like maybe like 2 or 3 rooms that wouldn't have it. But even like versus looking at the missions, they don't always have every single door closed. Some of them are just open, and when you enter an area, they'll spawn. Because that's how the jail cell work. They don't spawn when you enter, like when you enter a new tile, like you enter a house or a building. They only spawn when you open the doors, but sometimes they have doors open. And you can see I put some objectives behind some. And that's the thing, is it might not have every door out. I just wanted to kind of show that off as the aesthetic. And then we can also put some, like, zombies by them if we wanted to. So not only that, does it come with that, so it comes with some really other awesome stuff to go with it. So I kind of have on here, if I kind of rotate my board a bit. Let's see if I can rotate this enough. So over there we have a white and purple door. We also get, in addition to that, we get a second white and purple door. So we'll have one of each with this kind of like a glass door, and then one with kind of like a prison-y door. So if you want to have it be like a security office versus just a regular door in the building. So that's awesome. So we get some other colored doors to work with the triggers. But on top of that is we also get the yellow door to go, which is new for this set as well. We also get a green and blue door as well, so it works with the old classic stuff. And then these are all the doors that are really awesome because they break apart. So hey, we've opened up this door, and then we can reclose them back up. So that's really awesome there. We can still tell it's the yellow door very easily. I really love this design. So we get that, and that just, you know, replaces our standard doors, breakable doors, stuff like glass windows and stuff, which are kind of cool, or your regular solid doors, which are really neat. Then on top of all of that, yes, there is more. We also got some regular metal doors for inside this prison, or inside buildings. Any type of building might work, office building. So again, you could mix and match these into Marvel Zombies, DC Zombicide, any of those things. So we did get, we got one more like security gate door that looks like this, or we got two of these. We got two that look like that, which are really cool. And then we got a bunch of ones that just look like regular indoor buildings, if you want more indoor stuff. Because a lot of the X-Men ones were wooden doors, which don't really make sense inside an office building. And then the other ones were for outdoors, had like brick tiling. So these, again, can work for any type of zombie side, but they might work better if you're trying to be inside a building. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these. Yeah, they don't have another one on the board. So we get 9 of these as well. So this is really cool. So we get a lot of content in this one little bundle. On top of that, even more so, yes, there's more. We get the switches. I'm going to zoom down again here. So we have 3 switches, which replace the switches from the thing. Now, there's really no up or down on these. They have a black symbol. Versus, yeah, I don't think it makes a difference. Either one. I think it's the same exact picture on both sides. Yep. But these are really neat because these were designed to like be opening up the prison gates or activating the doors. And they're instead of being like an objective token where, oh, I found this objective token, flipped over, it was that color. These actually then you have to walk over and activate these specific objects you can see. So I think it's a really neat idea. And then the fact is there's 3, you can then add them into other games as well. And make it like that. It's like, oh, I have to access something. Like, again, if you're playing, here's Prison Break. You're activating prison doors. You could maybe be like in the mall. Like, maybe it's like the security office door. Like, you have to get into that to unlock, like, the special office over here. Or you're playing, like, Marvel. You could have it something in, like, the Avengers Mansion or Fantastic Four headquarters, Cerebro, X-Men's basement. So some cool stuff like that. So I love these little switches like this. Plus they look kind of neat next to the miniatures as well. You guys stand on them a little bit. Or whatever. But they look really great. The other thing that the switches were designed to do was the last, which is one of the coolest features he added, which I didn't even think of, is the rotating tile. I'm going to actually drop this down a little bit. So in the game, Zombicide, we get this rotating tile, which I did not bring the regular one over. I thought I grabbed it. But it's normally just a square on the board. And it has yellow lines on it. So it either has 2 yellow lines here or 2 yellow lines on the outside. And what it determines is how your characters can get through. So right now, he can't get through this door. He has to go activate the yellow switch, which will then rotate this 90 degrees. And then now you can easily go through, right? Which is really cool. And then, like, if it gets activated again, it could turn this way, which could open up. Oh, but that was a dead end. Or then you can turn it back, or you can turn it and shut it back off, so now he could get into if this doorway was open. It depends on which map you're playing on. They'll rotate different directions. Another example would be this other tile here, which has 3 different pathways on it. So you're right now, our 2 survivors can get to each other. They can walk through each other. But if someone rotated this, now they can't get through. If they rotate again, can't get through. Rotate a 3rd time, they can get through this way. Then she could rotate, have to go back this way. You could rotate this way. The thing is, you can't actually stand inside of it per game rules. You have to go all the way through. So also prevent zombies. But it's a really neat little concept. And again, having it be physical tiles on there so you can see where the walls are nicer than just looking on the as a little gray tile and just seeing, oh, there's 2 yellow lines. I have to pay attention to which 2 the colored lines are. What's also fun about this is because, I'm going to zoom back out just a little bit here, is this can be adjusted so you can flop it to the other side for the other mode, because usually the tile flips over instead of being an L, now it's just straight. So they can go this way, or you can block it off, but there's no way for them to get this way, because it's never going to turn again. You can't ride it. So that is really cool. If that weren't enough on this, yes, there's always more for this, is we can actually replace these cool, like, techie type walls with bars. And then, let's see if I can just get this slide in there. Do I have it going the right direction? I just don't want to break it. Not, they don't slide in there nice, it's just I gotta aim it right, and it's being a little stubborn. Try it the other, maybe I have it. Maybe they only going upside down or one way. I could be wrong. Or this one just could be a little stubborn. Alright, I'm not gonna play it because, yeah, but it's really cool. Now you can get a gated version. It does the same thing, but it adds a really neat kind of like different element to the game. And again, you can pull it out and pull this piece out. And, well, I'll pull this one since this one's pulling out. And you can actually have it go the other way as well. So that's really cool as well there. So you're getting all this really cool content. And then what you can even do is for storage reasons, slide these two walls back in there. And it came with a little cover. It's called shipping protection. But it actually fits right on there. So I actually think this is also a fun little thing as well. It's a great way for it to get shipped. And then it's not fitting on there because I think my one fence is in there wrong. Which is not good. I don't want to break it trying to pull it out. What did I do? I put it in backwards is what I did. Alright, yeah, so then this actually fits right on there. So it's kind of cool because then it actually kind of stores this stuff in a little box. Might be a little bit easier. But you can also even dump your switches in there if you want. So at least then your switches are safe, if nothing else. So that is really cool for that. And I do want to take one last look at the, just do a quick look here. I just want to see what some of the zombies look like behind these doors. Obviously, I know they don't spawn behind them, but that's just still really neat for how they look next to the characters. Like, if you're walking by, like, imagine if the game had these guys starting behind these, and you're like, I have to unlock, you know, and again, you could swap these around and have every other one be a different color. And then be like, oh, okay, guys, we need to open up the white doors to get to these two. Well, that's going to open up the other ones. Or we need to open up the purple doors to get to one of each of these. It's going to open up these cells and let all these zombies out. Besides just normal summoning. Or spawning them. So that's pretty crazy there. Alright, so I grabbed the original tile. So this is what it looks like. So you have the yellow side to the side you can walk through, and there's kind of like walls on the other side, and the other side goes to the L shape. But yeah, you can definitely see when this is on the board, it blends in very well. So it's like you might even forget it's there versus that, right? Obviously, it's one of those things where I feel like, is it a necessity to have this? Absolutely not. But it's definitely going to make the game more enjoyable, a lot easier. Same thing with doors, like, right? They're not needed. They don't have to have them. But, you know, not having to sit there and look for the little tiles and stuff, especially because they start to blend in with the background and stuff, is very much nicer. Alright, then the other thing I did want to show off for this is, I just kind of mentioned this before, I just went and grabbed the tiles for it, is I mentioned, like, Marvel Zombies. Like, they have, this is a Hydra base, and this is actually the Shield Helicarrier here. I kind of just combined them both together. Because this is why I was thinking, where my thought was why these doors are great. Normally they just have little wooden doors on here. So you're just supposed to use the regular door icon. And they can be bunks, is what they're supposed to be, like the Hydra bunks. But I like the idea of you could also have them as these prison cells. Then they don't open unless you get in there. Instead of each door opening, in a separate thing, you can have like a trigger. And all I did is I put a white switch and a purple switch up there. When I put 2 metal doors in here, again, this should just normally be open, but you could put a door there to make that a little bit more interesting to have to get in there. Because then it spawns separately versus everything spawning when you walk on that tile. That might be a little bit more interesting. Stuff will spawn here, then they'll spawn there. Or if you came down the ladder, obviously, I think the way is you want to go back up to the top there because you have to get to this yellow door. But again, that's again making use of these colored doors. We have the yellow switch over here, so maybe your hero will start over here somewhere. Nothing spawns, but you're gonna have to hit this yellow switch to go into there, and then now they're gonna have to come back out, and then you drop some of the crates in some of these, so now they have to activate the white door. But they can activate one door at a time, or they can activate both if they like, however they like to do it, which is very interesting. It's just kind of neat. Like here, I have a hazard because they have their spawn points there. Because again, Marvel works a little bit differently, so they only spawn there. But you could again amend the rules a bit to be like, when I hit the purple switch, all the purple doors open. So now we spawn in each one of these rooms. And this one will spawn the backwards. Yeah, so like all the purple doors would have opened. And then they have 3 spawn points on those spots. Maybe like the zombies only spawn in those spots. But again, you can do the same thing as white. When they open up, they spawn. But then that's how you get to the treasure. And you could do, or the item and stuff. And that's very cool. Again, having the switches versus just having a box and having to be like, oh, what color is the box? And you know that that's for the switches. It's always going to be there. It's not a random thing. And then it's also not getting confused with the other colors and stuff. Being like, oh, I need to open up the blue door or the green door. That's a very minor thing that might be kind of cool because we have blue and green doors and we make blue and green switches, again, for more customizable stuff. But I get there's a whole thing of making customizable content for lots of just everything versus making stuff that, like, this is the stuff that is used for that particular game mode. But again, I like seeing how well it'll fit with other games. Then the last thing I did want to show off with this stuff was, again, the other idea I had was we have the Marvel subway cars. Again, with the Marvel Zombicide set, which is more so X-Men zombies. X-Men had lots of the interior doors and stuff, or the exterior doors that were like bricks. Like, again, these aren't exactly subway-looking doors, but I think, like, the metal door, or even if you pull, like, the windowed one, looks a little bit better than, like, the bricked ones. I'm going to grab a brick one quick. Because either we were getting the bricked ones, which don't really make sense inside the subway, or we were getting the metal doors with the big X's on them. Which I do like, so now we can get some without X's on them. Which, I get, again, the window part might not make a difference. The X might not make a difference, dude. I think they work either way. But hey, if you're picking up the set, now you can have doors that kind of fit a little bit more thematically into that thing without having, like, I don't know, is it worth making subway doors for, I think there's a total of 4 doors in the entire set? Maybe, maybe not. Alright, but that's what we have for this. This was stuff for Zombicide Prison Break, but also how it can be used in Marvel. Again, I love the prison doors. I love the little tile for the switch thing, which I don't know if you can integrate that into other aspects of the game mode as well. I'm sure you could throw it in other tiles wherever you like. The cell part looks pretty cool as well. Alright, again, that was Arts Gaming Outpost. See you guys later. Bye.